Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another fabulous workshop today lined up for you from Startup Ki Pathshala. Today, our guest is a fantastic person. He has 2 decades of experience building and scaling distribution models across some of India's most competitive industries, from FMCG, consumer durables, tires, lubricants, and now the health tech space. Let me introduce to you Mr. Avik Sarkar. Avik is actually, he's currently the Chief Revenue Officer at ResearchAyu. It's one of India's fastest growing health tech companies. He drives P&L and growth for them. Now, over the last 20 years, he has basically worked across some of the iconic organizations like Asian Paints, Godrej Consumer Products, Cabin Care, Tata Chemicals, Gulf Oil, Seat, Crompton Greaves, you name it, he has basically worked in that space, right? He is a alumnus of IIT Kharagpur and IIM Calcutta. Now, anytime you think about taking a product idea and ensuring that it reaches to your end consumer through a shelf, that is through a distribution channel. Now he is your man. This is not just for metro. He can do this even amongst to the rural outlets. So beyond these corporate roles, he also works as an independent consultant where he really works closely with different startups like part of the BE community who are entrepreneurs who are attending today's workshop as part of startup Ki Pathshala. Now he works with all of different entrepreneurs to basically bring in the right distribution and the sales strategy to you. So without further ado, I will basically hand the session over to Mr. Avik and here's to a fantastic session.
Thanks. Thanks for your kind words, Prasanna. Thanks, Arun. I mean, whatever Prasanna said about me, I was trying to be telling myself, is it really me? Is it talking about me or someone else? I never knew that I have done so many great things in life. But anyway, thanks. Thanks, Prasanna. Thanks once again. And thanks to others. Thanks, Tanya, for inviting me for this session. And thanks people who are attending this session. Thanks for being here. My name is Avik, and what I have done so far, Prasanna has told you beautifully. I won't dwell upon that. So let's get into the topic. So what is distribution? And distribution is the sole job of sales department, right? Distribution is the process through which you make your product or brand available to the consumer, right? You are into a business, you are making something, either a product or a service, and you want to earn money out of it. Whenever a customer or consumer pays for it, that moment of truth that makes your business sustainable, right? And how he or she is going to make that payment when he's actually consumed that product or bought that product or experienced your service. So making that product or service available to the last mile at the consumer's doorstep is distribution. So often we say that sales and marketing department is doing that. Sales and marketing, these are two completely different departments. What does marketing do? Marketing tells you why you should buy that product, creating that need and urgency in you. And sales tells you from where you're going to buy that product. So from why to how and where. That's the distribution of sales. That's the job of sales, and that's what distribution is all about. Okay. So distribution in traditional days were two types, right? One is through distributor channel, one is through dealer channel. How it usually used to happen? I'm talking about pre-internet era. How it used to happen? So a companies have got their production houses at different parts of the country, and in each state they have a warehouse or a CFA, carrying and forwarding agent. Okay, so companies send their finished products to the CFAs. CFAs do bulk breaking, right? So we have sent, let's say, 1 ton of salt, right? At CFA, you break them into 1 kilo packets. Then you sell them to distributors. Distributors sell them to retailers. You go to your retail outlet, your kirana shop or your in a mom and pop stores and buy the product. So there are three layers. One is CFA, one is a distributor, then is a retailer. And every level you have to share part of your profit with them. So everywhere there is a margin. So there's a distributor margin, let's say 5% of the MRP. There's a retailer margin, let's say 10% plus some secondary margin. So I'm not getting into this schemes and all and margin because then it is going to be a 3-hour session. And then for carrying and forwarding agents, again, you are sharing some margin, let's say 1 rupee per ton or 10 rupees per kiloliter, something like that. Okay. So you have to share your margin with the channel partners, and that's how you make your product available at the nearest point to the consumer. Okay. As I said, there are two types. One is distribution led, one is dealer led. Products which are everyday use, FMCG products or consumer packaged goods, right? Be it toothpaste, be it soap, be it shampoo, be it milk, be it any fruits or vegetables, right? These products have to be available at your, the consumer should be at most, will be able to buy them at the most convenient time and place. मेरे घर के बाहर ही है, मिल गया. So in that such cases, number of touch points, consumer touch points, which are retail outlets, are huge. That's why you have to have two layers. So CFA to distributor, distributor to retailer. Where products are not everyday use. Tire, you don't buy tire every day, right? Paints, you don't buy paints every day, right? Or let's say a TV, you don't buy TV every day. There people go for dealer model. So they are basically retailers, but of very huge size, right? Their turnovers might, some big dealers turnover crosses the turnover of small companies even. Okay. And you crack deals with them, you keep your product with them, you decide the margin and any promotional policies and promotional activities at their retail outlet, then consumers come there, buy there and go home. Okay. So those number of outlets are very few in your area. You will find, for example, let's say a pan bidi shop or a kirana shop, if there's 100 of shops around your vicinity, a tire shop will be 2 or 3. A paint shop will be 4 or 5, not more than that. So that's the difference between dealership model and distributorship model. Correct? Now, after the invent of internet, after the advancement of internet, people have started becoming an entrepreneur. At in-house entrepreneurs become easier because you can connect and talk to your customer or consumer directly. Okay. So people have developed a D2C model, direct to consumer model. So what it happens, one of the biggest responsibility of a channel partners are bulk breaking. What is bulk breaking? Company has sent you 100 cartons of soap, right? Customers buy only one soap, right? So you have to break them, make them a smaller packet and send them to a retailer. Then customers will come and buy one piece of soap or one tube of toothpaste. Here the bulk breaking happens at company's own godown. Then they touch upon, then they talk to their customers either through their apps or through internet. In sometimes there are limited number of company owned shops, a factory shop. That shop is owned by the company, run by the company, and in very few in numbers. Okay. So most common form, most famous form at this point of time is D2C model. You will find 100 number of companies. Whenever you open your mobile, you open your Facebook, you'll see meta ads, buy this, buy that kind of oil, you will grow hair on your head. Now, earlier days, a company had to go to medical shops, had a chat with them, appoint a distributor, then appoint a retailers in his area, send salesman, they will place the product at the shelf, right? Then put a nice display so that people come and ask, and the retailer will tell him, हाँ ये नया product आया है, लगा लो, बाल अगर आपके मतलब किस्मत अच्छा है तो बाल उग भी जाएगा. Now exactly you can tell your customers, this is the product, I can guarantee you that if you use this product, you are going to look like Shah Rukh Khan, something like that. Okay. So how this D2C model happens? You run meta ads, right? You either through Facebook or through Instagram, through YouTube, you run meta ads. From this meta ads, people respond to those ads. either they click a button or call directly. All these companies have their own pre-sales team, inside sales team, basically telecallers. Okay, they will take the call, explain to you, give a sales pitch. Yes, this is the product, this is what our product does, and this is how you can buy it. Or they use either sales, telecalling, or through WhatsApp, or through chatbot. Some 10 different ways have come up. Okay, there are softwares which can track how many calls you are getting, how many leads you are getting, what is the data flow to you. Then your own inside sales people call them, sir, you have expressed your interest for buying our product, right? uh, so can I explain it to you how it works? Okay, that's D2C model. Okay, now what you need to do, you need to convince the customer, get the payment, make the packet, and now there are a number of delivery partners available in the ecosystem, starting from delivery, express bees, these and that, right? And you just send it to them, and product is delivered at customer's place. Customer don't have to step out of his home. Nowadays Blinkit is anyway there. Still in these cases, your product reaches customer in a very fast and secured way. Okay, the deal is guaranteed, the sale is closed. I'll give a small example. Before, in some parts of my life, 5 to 7 years back, I was into book publishing industry. So I was a publisher as well, I was a seller as well. So I am publishing books and I am running meta ads. I am getting the orders. I am packing them, sending to the customer. So I don't have to give it to a bookseller. If I give it to a bookseller, I have to pay 35% of my profit margin with him. Here I am sharing nothing, but at cost of what? So this model has got pros and cons both, right? What is the pros? As I said, your profit margin is very high. In any traditional trade, there is something called cost of goods sold. You have made a toothpaste. The content, the packaging, the packaging, everything is the cost of goods sold, COGS. Then there are cost overheads of the company, right? People, you have employed people like me and people like Prasanna who charges a hefty sum as their salary. So you have to apportion that part into them. Then you have to add marketing cost. You have to add distribution cost. The distribution cost alone cannot be less than 30%, 25 to 30%. If you are selling directly to your customer, you can save that 20 to 30% from your profit margin. That's one of the biggest advantages. Next is what? Next is you have direct access to your customer data. Who are your customer? Are they male, female? What's the age group? Which SEC, I mean socioeconomic classification they come from, A, B, or C, right? What they earn, what kind of movies they watch, what kind of food they eat, right? All this data is available with you at a fingertips, and your marketing team can make offerings based on that data. Everything available at your fingertips. You don't have to go and run a survey to understand your customer. Your customers, your number, your database tells you who are your customers. Okay, you have full control on your consumer profiling. Okay, next is that you have full control on your brand offerings. So any brand had got 4 P's. I hope all of you will be knowing that: product, price, place, promotion. Since you know your customers so well and talking to them directly and understanding their need and urgency, what actually they are looking for, you can design your product with their offers, their features, their pricing, their discounts, at what point they want discount, everything you can design at ease. So that gives the agility. That gives the agility compared to a traditional companies where they have to go to market, deploy a marketing research agency, get this data done, right? And still there are marketing research agencies. I hope they are still there. AC Nielsen is there, Orgmark is there. You have to buy data from them, and they'll cost you a bomb. Then they do a very flashy presentation. This is what your customers actually looking for. Now you as a product head or the brand head or the CEO of the company, you exactly know who are your customers, what they are talking, what they are asking for, what they are looking for, and how you can serve them and still make a good amount of profit. Clear so far, I believe. So that's the pros of D2C branding. What are the cons? Con is one is a scalability issue. Why? This entire business is depending on internet marketing, digital marketing. Okay, digital marketing itself is not scalable. Okay, so let me just how to explain this is, if you want to target 100 customer of your choice, I want to target women married between 25 to 45. This is my target segment of ACC B, socioeconomic classification B. You have understood this is your customer profiling. In digital marketing, you can exactly pinpoint, you can find out the geography, set the parameters, run the ads, be rest assured that out of 100 people, available people in that area, at least 80-90 people, to 80-90 people, the ad will reach, your communication will reach. When you're talking about 100 lakhs, 1 crore people, digital marketing starts failing. Then you have to go the old way of running ads into newspaper, TV, hoardings, the traditional way. So digital marketing is not scalable to that level where traditional ATLs are scalable. Okay. So scalability is the big issue in case of D2C distribution, right? Next is your customer acquisition cost is high. Whenever you are entering a market to traditional channel, that distributor, that retailer already has a customer base. आपके पास एक किराने के दुकान है तो आपके पास रोज 100 लोग आते हैं. If you are a distributor for 15 years in a particular area, you know all retailers and all dealers in your area, right? Here you are new. So when a renowned retailer gives you a product, his credibility is bestowed on that product as well. अरे मेरे दुकान में तो गलत सामान बेच नहीं सकते हम, मेरे दुकान से गलत सामान बिकता नहीं है, ठीक है? So the trade, that entire customer and consumer community, the trader community, they have built that trust onto themselves and consumers believe them. Okay, here you have to build that brand so single-handedly by yourself. So as I said, there is a cost you are saving by not going to traditional channel, but again you have a cost of pieces. You have a cost of, just give me a minute, please. I have just got a very bad this thing.
Hey, can I ask one question, Avik?
Give me a minute, sir, please.
Sure.
Yes, Mr. Prabhat, please ask. Please shoot.
Yeah, my query is that because in our community we have persons with different product categories, right? So can you suggest some reckoner type for which product category? There are many distribution channels, many types of distribution channel. One could be mass distribution channel, one could be selective, one could be B2C, whatever. So can you suggest, because in this community, some people are working on, let's say, making some FMCG kind of products. Some are making some musical instrument products, right? So everybody cannot adopt the same type of distribution model. So can you suggest in a like a reckoner, if you have this category of products, then you must adopt this 1, 2, or 3 option of distribution model?
Great. Exactly. I'll do that. Can we take this question by the end of the session? I mean, this first question I'll take. Okay. Great. Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Das. Let me finish this, then I'll take this question first. Of course, I'll be able to suggest this, right? Next is where was I? Oh, yes. So the entire brand building activity, customer acquisition has to be done by you starting from the scratch. You cannot piggyback on the experience and the credibility of the dealers and retailers or distributors in the market. Okay. The next traditional, the usual model that Mr. Prabhadas was referring to is, as I said earlier, through distributor and retailer model, or through CFA and dealership model, right? What are the benefits of this product or of this particular channel? One is that their reach is much wider than you believe. A distributor, as I said, sitting in a particular geography, let's say part of North Calcutta, he know, or let's say we take the area called Salt Lake, right? A distributor who is into FMCG distribution in that area, he knows exactly what kind of product, what pack size sells in Salt Lake. He knows in and out of the consumer behavior of that area. He knows in and out the retailer behavior of that area. Which retailer is stores bad spurious product, bad quality product. I'm not going to sell your product to them, right? So that ecosystem is already there for you. That ecosystem already there for you. Your credibility and your brand visibility is there from day one. That's one of the biggest plus point of going to traditional distribution channel. Okay. Next is that you can expand very quickly. You can expand very quickly, and your CAC is already lower because they have a customer base already. They have invested a lot of years into them. They already, so getting your customers to buy your product, your effort is less compared to in a D2C model, right? And as I said, the local market dynamics is at their fingertips. What kind of, for example, what kind of shirts in Salt Lake, someone who sells knitwears or garments and all, he knows Salt Lake में 42 का size ज़्यादा बिकता है या 44 का size का shirt ज़्यादा बिकता है, and what kind of color, what kind of design sells most, right? So you can go them and learn them what kind of product you're going to design. Okay, that's one of the biggest advantage of going to traditional channel. Next is, if that part, that distributing and reaching your consumer, you're giving to someone else, your channel partners, you can focus on your core activities, which is building the product, which is doing better market research, you're doing innovation, all the nitty-gritties of running a particular show. That आज मेरे पास माल पहुंचा नहीं, you are into a dairy business, आपको सुबह 5 बजे से पहले आपको आपका जो that milk van you have to send, you couldn't send it. That's a everyday daily operation, but low value adding. If you are innovating a new kind of milk product, then that's a value adding activity for you. So you can channelize all your effort to a more value creating activity. Okay. And next is existing, for example, you have put a good distributor's model, a good product in Salt Lake. That distributor has got their own community all across Calcutta. They will recommend you. You can, if you really want to distribute in, let's say, 𝐑𝐢𝐻 or somewhere else, this is a good distributor. I know him personally. So through their own channel, own network, right? Your own network, right? Your product reaches the customer touch point much faster way. Okay? What are the cons? One is that you lose part of control on your product. Matlab, you lose control how they are procured, how they are bought, how they are stored, how they are displayed. You have no control on them. So in case you want to tell a particular sales pitch, a marketing pitch to your consumer, my product exactly does this, that part will be completely missing, because that part will be done by the retailer who has got thousands of other products to sell. You want to tell your customer, आपके जो hair oil है वो minoxidil है, right? If you use it, you will it guaranteed shot for getting a new hair on your head, new hair stands on your head. That amount of time, that amount of rigor, a retailer won't give you, because he has got 10 other products, even your competitor's product to sell. ठीक है? He will say, अरे ले लो, नया आया है, ट्राई करके देखो, मुझे तो अच्छा ही लगा. That's not a perfect sales pitch. You want to tell your consumer, but you are helpless there. Okay. Next is your dependencies on the intermediaries goes up. Okay. Let's assume that you have, you don't know what next 3 months के लिए कितना आपका product आपको बनाना पड़ेगा, manufacture करना पड़ेगा. If you're selling to consumers directly, if you know the seasonality, consumer behavior, you can exactly predict how many bottles of that hair serum you have to produce for next 3 months. Here, there is a buffer at every stage. There is a buffer at every stage. Retailers keep a certain days of stock, let's say 4 days. Your salesman goes there for every once in a week. So he has to keep a stock of 7 days. A distributor keeps a stock of 1 month, 27 days or 1 month. Your factory or your CFA keeps a stock of 4 months. So 4 plus 1, 5 months and 1 weeks. 21, 5 months is 20 weeks plus 1, 21 weeks buffer. जब तक ये बफर खत्म होता तो आपके पास आएगा, तब तक प्रोबेबली मार्केट में डिमांड बदल गया है, डिमांड पैटर्न हैज गॉन बैक. ठीक है, तो दैट फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी एंड दैट एजिलिटी यू लूज. So in both the cases there are pros and there are cons, and the moment you can mix them perfectly, you can think of testing the fruit of both the horizons. Okay, next is your operational complications. Managing 100 customers is much easier than managing 100 retailers. You are talking to a customer. A retailer is a businessman. You are talking to a consumer, and your direct customers, it's easier to make him understand your product. Whenever you're dealing with a retailer, he's a businessman. He's not going to buy your product. He's not impressed by how good your product is, by the benefits, features and all. He only understands ye product बेच के मेरा फायदा क्या है. That discussion is completely around money and profit and margin, not on brand quality, not on product quality or anything else. ठीक है, so that's the complication. Now, which kind of product, for which kind of product you should adopt which kind of distribution model. Okay, if your product is very niche, not for everybody, you should go for limited distribution model. For example, you sell cancer drugs. Everybody doesn't have cancer in this country, right? People who will be needing it, they already have an inbuilt need and urgency to buy it. They'll come running to buy your product. If you are selling a guitar, everybody in this country doesn't play guitar, right? If there are very specific people who plays guitar, so they'll come to your, they'll look for you, search for you in the internet and try to find out कहाँ से सबसे बढ़िया guitar मिलता है. In that case, you should not spend much effort and energy on distributing your product for mass, because mass is not your customer. Your customer is very select few. If you are selling, let's say, phenyl, if you are selling, let's say, a product which is used by every day, let's say agarbatti, it's a product used by every household every day, you must go for mass distribution traditional way, because agarbatti you are not going to sell or scale up through digital branding or digital modeling. As I said, I'll quote my own experience. I was a publisher and seller as well. And I used to publish and sell Bengali books. After starting the operation for 6 months, I realized this probably this business is not going to scale up. Why? Because my consumers, my customers who read Bengali fiction books, their typical age is 45 to 60, 60, 70. They are very skeptical of buying online. They always think that they will get conned or scammed, right? Second, even if they are not afraid of any scamming or being conned, still they don't know how to use e-commerce. They don't know how to order from e-commerce. So whatever your customers are asking for and whatever you are delivering to them, their ways and their experiences are different. And that exactly happens if you don't choose your right distribution model. Okay, if you are selling any food item, it has to be available. It's selling a small cake, fruit cake, just taking an example of fruit cake, it has to be available at every pan bidi shop and every kirana shop in your mohalla, else you won't be able to scale up. Okay, so if you, this is a wide definition that I try to give you. If you tell me a product category, we can always debate and discuss how to go about it. And there are products which are have to be available both mass and niche, for niche segment, but has to be available at mass stores. For example, let's say lipsticks, right? And then nail polishes. There are various range of nail polishes, right? And they have got different shades, different price point, and different companies. You can sell them through online. right? But still people will love to go and put that lipstick on their palm and taste and check whether it goes with their skin color or not. That's how people check it, right? For example, I never buy a trouser online because it doesn't fit me. I have to always go to a check for myself whether it fits me or not. So even if it's a niche customer, even if you are, let's say, MAC, which is a very expensive lipstick or eyelashes or I don't know, whatever, Tanya will be able to help me out in this case. But they're very expensive. That's the only thing that I know. They can easily, their customer base is not very wide, limited. Very few people can afford them, but still they are present in every shopping mall because they want that customer touch point. Customer will come and check whether that shade goes well with their skin tone or not. For that purpose, you have to have both of the distribution model along with you. Okay, Mr. Prabhat Das, does that satisfy your query?
Yeah, ekdom perfectly done. This is actually the reckoner. Hello.
Yeah, Prabhat, we can hear you. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr.
So
Prabhat.
also, I have another one question. These startups having their, already you have spoken about it. Still, I need some more clarification. This startups is having their low budget on marketing, right? One is, you already mentioned ki one is marketing, matlab why he will buy this product, and then distribution, how he can get this product. So how he can use the distributor as a part of their marketing portfolio, matlab, so that they can promote their brands. Can they?
There are two aspects of it. One is brand communication, marketing communication. One is product design. In product design, whenever you're designing a product, you have to have sit with your retailers and distributors to understand your consumers. I have sold tires, right? Any product manager, he has to come down to the biggest retailers and the dealers to understand what are the problems are happening in the tires, what are the technical things people are looking for, how this industry is evolving. They are the best person to guide you as a product in terms of product design. If you're talking about marketing communication, that's a separate issue. There, nobody's going to buy your tire looking at your dealer, right? Then you have to show you a very sturdy car with your very big tires fit into it and zooming in from the screen this side to that side in a ziffy. So that's a different part altogether. But at the product design stage, right? For example, toothpaste. If you need to understand or identify a gap in the toothpaste market, you have to talk both consumers and the retailers. If you talk to a consumer once, you are getting a single insight at a particular point of time. If you're talking a retailer once, you are, because he has to deal 100 customers per day, you are going to get the feedback from 100 customers at one point of time, single point of time. So you have to have sit with the retailer and distributors and dealers first. Okay. Am I
correct?
Does it satisfy
Why I am asking? I think Vivek is there. Vivek, are you there in the group? Vivek Verma. Now, actually, like Vivek, he is making a product for high calorie fast food, something like this. But he is now struggling for which kind of distributor he will appoint for this category of products. So everybody is struggling whether I should spend.
Okay. Understood. So, okay. So what kind of distributor, what kind of channel partners you look for, what kind of product?
That's yeah. That is right. Right. Correct.
Exactly. So you have to look at who are your competitors or the similar kind of products available in the market and who are the distributors. Okay. And that's a very typical job of a salesperson. For example, if I am selling, let's say, filter matlab the गाड़ी का जो filter होता है ना, the car filter. So what kind of distributor I should go to? Filter कहाँ डाला जाता है? Whenever in the engine where lubricants are there. So best fit for you will be a lubricant distributor. It's called the surrogate product. You have to look at surrogate products. For example, if you're selling a low calorie protein bar, right?
Correct.
What are the similar kind of products? Low calorie protein bar, right? What are the similar kind of product you have to identify? For those products, what are the brands available in the market? You have to identify. Go to market, ask the retailer who is the distributor. Typically, distributors don't mix their product set. You will rarely find FMCG distributor for lubricant as well. You will even in auto parts there are specifications. People who are lubricant distributor rarely keep in nut and bolts. That separate is different. People who are into food and beverages most likely to be a distributor of FMCG only, not beyond that. So there are distributor categories as well. If I'm good at selling ITC cigarette and ITC FMCG products for over a decade, I know how this consumption rate varies in my market, what kind of customers are there. If I need to invest in some other product categories, again I have to understand that same person who buys ITC cigarette from me, how does he behave for some other product? I'll explain. Me, Avik, going to a particular retailer for buying cigarette. My behavior is particular type A. Same person, when he goes to buy a cup of tea, right? My behavior will be different. Same consumers behave differently for buying different set of products. So their buying behaviors are different. That's why the product availability, the visibility and availability, those criteria are also different. So distributors try to accommodate, I can only manage this set of variables in my kitty. If I have to go to other set of product, I have to learn those variables again, which I'm not willing to. So you have to look at what are the similar kind of products and what are similar kind of brands available in the market and which kind of distributors store them. Okay. I'll draw another parallel from this. For example, I learned a very beautiful thing from I was in Godrej Sarali, and our CEO came to Calcutta market visit. Okay, and whenever you you go along with your seniors for market visit, you learn a lot of things from them because they are experienced. He walked into a shop. He didn't walk into a shop. He just stood in front of a shop, first shop in that area, Tangla area or somewhere. Stood in front of the shop and asked me, "Is this the biggest shop in the area?" I said, "Yes, sir." Then he looked at the shelf and said, यहाँ के लोगों को शायद हाथ में बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा नहीं है. I said, "How did you make that?" Look at the soaps he is keeping. He is keeping 10 rupees life boy, most quantity, 10 rupees life boy. So if he is the biggest retailer in the area and his biggest kitty is 10 rupee life boy, means his customers also like that. So product a retailer keeps is a surrogate or reflection of customer set he is serving to. That is also a reflection what kind of socioeconomic customers are there in a particular vicinity. So you have to take those cues, this surrogacy, what kind of other products are there, what kind of price points are at. Okay, great. Is it sufficient?
Yeah, perfectly. Another question is, I mean, everybody should know.
Can I take this question a little later if you don't mind?
One last question. Please. So that
sure.
The top 3 criteria of selecting a distributor, people are becoming very confused. They prioritize their funds, financial status, right? I think they should know the top 3 criteria. You suggest they should look after all these 3.
There used to be in every company, whenever they're going to open a distributor, they have a 10, 12 different points and they assess a distributor, giving them rating. First and foremost, how well is the distributor? How deep is his pocket? First and foremost criteria. Second is, in that particular category, for how many years you have been distributing in that area. Third, how many outlets does he serve? Does he cater to? So probably someone, a distributor of North Calcutta, might serve only, let's say, Hatibagan or Shambazar. But for another company, he serves from Salt Lake till, let's say, Damdam and all. So all areas put together, how far he can reach, what's his total universe in his kitty. Okay, so these three are the major criteria: how deep his pocket is, how far he can reach, right? And third is his serviceability, uh, how frequently he can service. So people, let's say, have you ever seen how a cigarette distributed? Every day morning, cigarette is a category where there is a zero credit in the market. There is a zero credit in the market. Every day morning in a particular beat, the distributor salesman comes, keeps the packet in the inside the shop and goes away. He does 40-50 outlets. While coming back, he comes back by collecting money. It's a zero credit business. Okay, so you have to understand what kind of product. If he's in a business where he doesn't have to extend credit to market, right? Then he will not be interested in a business where credit is a huge thing. So a cigarette distributor where credit is 0 days will not invest in a lubricant where credit is goes to 2 months. Okay, because he cannot manage that kind of credit. So a distributor, there can be two kind of distributor. One who earns small margin but fast rolling products, cigarette, soap, toothpaste, shampoo. Every day there's a churning every day, right? So the margins are very minimal. In a Lux soap, a retailer earns 2% margin, but he says 100 soaps a day. In a lubricant, probably you have to keep the lubricant a dabba of 1 liter lubricant for 2 months. Margin is 20%, but he will sell only 2 pieces of product. So what kind of product and his credit and market behavior you have to look at. If your product is a fast churning product, you know that har roz bikega, you must go to a FMCG distributor who can manage that level of agile and fast distribution model. हर जगह पे जाना है, अभी ऑर्डर आया रिटेलर से, अभी जाके वहां पे पहुंचाना है आपका प्रोडक्ट. बट यस, मैं क्रेडिट नहीं दूंगा, मेरे को एक हफ्ते के अंदर पैसा चाहिए. एंड देयर आर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर, I want higher margin, I want 30% margin, and I'm ready to invest on your product for large number of time. What does the distributor do apart from bulk breaking? He is giving his area, his godown at rent to you for stocking your product, and he's paying company for buying that product. The company is making money. So that's the earning of the company. Okay, he will always try to increase his ROI. Now I am getting into complete different tangent. ROI and all, you get 21 more hour.
The most difficult.
So he has to invest his investment. What is ROI? His net income. His net income is his gross margin minus all his expenses, salaries, telephone bill, wholesaler discount, right? And divided by total investment. What are investments are? One is his stock, in company stock he is investing, right? And the credit he has invested in market. He has bought 27 days of stock from you. He has given 27 days of credit in market. Practically he is carrying 54 days of stock, 2 months of stock for you. एक तो आपने पास ही रखा है, दूसरा मार्केट में देके बैठा है. So people who are habituated to keeping 1 day of stock, now Hindustan Lever is they come up with GTM model, 1 day of stock. Practically people don't have to invest in their product. They just need to emphasize how fast he can reach the retailer, how soon. Okay? And there are tire, they talk about tires. 4-5 महीने से बैठा ही है, क्रेडिट भी चल रहा है, कंपनी भी किसी पैसा, he is not selling to company, he is not paying to the company, he is saying जब माल बिकेगा आपको मैं पैसा दूंगा. Anyway, so that's a complete different discussion, how distributor behavior, and that's very amazing. And I'm going to tell you, I have done MBA from IIM Calcutta, one of the best colleges in the world. I have done 20 years of sales, right? And I know, I can tell you, I cannot match the business intelligence of a Marwari or Gujarati businessman sitting in the market. They are so sharp. They are master of finance, they are master of sales, they are master of marketing. People who are sitting on the ground as the best marketeer of this country. Your retailers, your dealers, your distributors are the best marketing talent you will find this in the country. Chalo, now how to set up a distribution model? Okay, I have been, my hands were itching to start with this topic because that's my specialty. So you have been told, I'll take an example how to get it done. Okay, because I have done it for a particular company. I forgot the name of the company, Bendisimo or something. So they started coming with sanitary napkins. Okay, and they told me, Avik, design a GTA model for me. Now, what is GTA model? It's called go to market. How you are going to make the blueprint of reaching your retailers, reaching your customers. Okay, how to do it? You start with census data. You start with census data. All the towns, all the cities, towns, and villages of India are available in census. You start with census data. So if there are, uh, 10 metros, and then there are at each pop data, there is a number of villages. Number of villages.
Hari Rupatha, can you mute yourself, please?
Can you please mute yourself? So you have to identify where you want to sell your product. For example, if as Mr. Prabhata said, he want to sell a low calorie protein bar. You have to, your marketing team will tell you what kind of customers are going to buy this. So I'll tell you that SECA predominantly lives in cities, right? Very conscious about their health and their calorie. Probably your villagers, someone from Bakuda or someone from Midnapur may not buy this because they are very happy with their life. People in cities always very, worry about how much calorie they are intaking, something like that. Then you have to limit your distribution model only for metros and tier 1 cities. You have to identify what is rural India and what is urban India. Towns below 1 lakh population town, or some cases 50,000 population town, are rural India. Town above that pop strata are urban India. मान लीजिए, मतलब you can say make it 1,25,000 as well, but मान लीजिए ऐसे ही होता है. So you have decided that you are going to sell your product to urban consumer. So 1 lakh pop strata के ऊपर जितना सारे टाउन है उनको लिस्ट डाउन कीजिए. ठीक है? So you start from Mumbai, then Delhi, then Calcutta, Madras, and आते आते नीचे नीचे आते आते, then you stop at let's say Burdwan or Durgapur. ठीक है? So you have got 140 towns of India. Got it? Each town is a row in an Excel sheet. Every town has got a population, right? Let's say Calcutta has got a population of 1 crore, for an example. Then you decide for this kind of product, kitne per lakh mein kitne dukan hona chahiye. If it is a FMCG product of soap and cigarette, the DPL, dealer per lakh, will be more than 400 or 500. 1 lakh population mein 400 dukan. If you are selling paints, your DPL will not be more than 50 or 100. 1 lakh population mein 100 dukan. That factor, DPL, you have to decide. You have to go to market to identify. For example, I will give example and then I'll tell the theory. That sanitary napkin that I have designed, what I had to find out, we decided we'll not go below 50k populated towns. So we decided, we listed on all the towns of India whose population is greater than 50k. Okay. Now, who are your customers? Your customers are ladies whose age is probably from 14, 15 till 45. So in that age group, how many women are there? You find out. Which kind of shops sell sanitary napkins? You have Kirana shop and you have got medical shops primarily, right? What's their DPL from per lakh of population? 250. So in a city, you have got, let's say 50 lakh women, a particular age group in that particular city. Then you take 250 is your DPL. So you divided that 50 lakhs divided by 250. He'll tell you how many retailer outlets you have got. Let's assume, I don't know, I don't calculate. 50 lakhs to 250 से कितना होगा? 2000 होगा, right? 50 lakh, which is do you have? I think 2000 के आसपास होगा. So you have got 2000 outlets to cater to. Got it? One salesman, एक salesman takes 7 to 8 minutes to sell a single shop. That time motion study. So एक सेल्समैन दिन में कितना दुकान कर सकता है? 40 से 50. He has got only one product in 3 SKUs. So he can do 40 or 50 outlets. 50 outlets per day. So अगर आपको 2000 दुकान दिन में एक बार पहुंचना है, तो how many salesmen you need? 2000 divided by 50, right? So that makes it 40. 2000 by 50 is 40, right? So you will be needing 40 salesmen, and that too weekly ones. So Monday अगर ये beat पे गया तो next Monday उसी beat पे जाएगा. Other days he'll go to other beats. So then they have to finalize the beats. कि कौन सा beat है, route है. A set of 50 consecutive outlets constitutes a beat or route. Okay, so you need 40 salesmen for covering those outlets. Then you go for area demarcation. So let's say you have decided I am not going to give more than 250 outlets to, so 50 outlets per day. So you have got 6 working days. तो अगर आपको चाहिए every beat हफ्ते में एक ही बार टच करना चाहिए, तो 6 दिन में हर दिन में 50 आउटलेट इज 300 आउटलेट. You have decided you are not going to give 300 आउटलेट से ऊपर किसी रिटेलर आपको डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर को नहीं देना है. So you have found out that in Salt Lake and part of Pirati, there are 300 outlet approximately हो जाएगा. One salesman का काम है, 6 beat है, 300 outlet है. Then you go and appoint a distributor. You go and talk to him, make him understand this is your product, इतना बढ़िया है, इतने outlets है, and this is the offer you have to tell him. This is your margin. Okay, चलो आपका जो salesman का खर्चा भी मैं दूंगा. चलो रेंट का थोड़ा पैसा मैं दे देता हूँ. Electricity bill, software, this and that मैं आपको दूंगा. So then you make him understand and stock your product. Then it's his job, because he knows one thing. रोज सुबह I have to send my salesman to market. He has to come back with orders. Next day I have to deliver the product as per the order to the counter and collect money. वो उसका दिन भर का काम है. Once you have made that agreement with him, you collect money and send him the product. Rest is his responsibility. Okay, so total 300 आउटलेट डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर को देना है, आपके पास है 3000 आउटलेट, तो मैक्सिमम 2000 आउटलेट. सो मैक्सिमम 7 डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स यू विल बी नीडिंग इन दैट टाउन. 7 to 8 डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर, नॉट मोर देन दैट. बहुत ज्यादा डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर दोगे ना तो पर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर का टोटल अर्निंग इतना कम होगा, ही विल नॉट बी इंटरेस्टेड. बहुत कम डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर दोगे तो यू विल बी ओवर डिपेंडेंट ऑन द डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर. 3 डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर रखे हो, तीनों मिलकर बोले चल कल से तेरा माल नहीं बेचना है, your business will get stopped. 7 to 8 distributor. You decide your GTM model. What is the DPL? How many outlets you're going to serve? How many salesmen you will be needing? Weekly or fortnightly जाना चाहिए. ये it's a very very complex thing. मैं बहुत जल्दी बता रहा हूँ, आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा, but still that's how we go for distribution finalization, GTM modeling. Right? Then you have to sell your people to the salesman to go to the market, talk to the retailer, and do other activities. You take a small window in that shop, decorate with your collaterals and put your product, right? You put some flyers in the retailer counters. You do small BTL activities at the counter, and that's how your brand starts building. Okay. So this is the typical model everywhere. Now let's say, just give me, I am getting cramp on my leg, so I have to change my leg every 5 minutes.
So, Avik, while you're taking that break, we will also take up some of the audience questions which is there. वो answer करेंगे. Again, we'll go back to the flow of the questions, sure. Right? So, Srimanta, you're there. If you can unmute yourself and ask the question, that will be great.
Yes.
Sorry?
Yeah, no, we have Srimanta
yes,
here. So she,
yes, Mr. Mighty.
Yeah. Can you ask your question? You're on mute if in case you're talking.
Hello.
Any question?
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Yeah, ask your question.
Actually, I am developed a product which is a real pizza flour, which is stay up to 2 to 3 years without any maintenance actually. So it looks like natural flour.
Made of what?
Actually, this is natural flowers also, and I actually this pizza gift actually I selling some gift item. Okay, and
Okay.
it's put some borosilicate glass, and after that I selling actually.
Okay,
So
got
in
it,
this
got it.
India, na, some company are there, but they are imported from China, and some are the manufacturer also, but they are not that much of big. So I want to make a brand actually. So how can I go to market or distributorship like that?
First of all, since the idea is very new, is what I first time I'm hearing this product about this product. I don't know how many people have heard about this. What at the prima facie, of course, whatever I say there, just my primary prima facie idea. We can always debate and discuss. I believe going D2C model is the best possible thing for you, because first you have to create the demand. People don't know what it is, right? You have to create the demand, and for that a lot of effort will go into making good commercials or good content, right? You should put best of your effort in making generating a demand for it through marketing communication, through meta ads, and through going D2C model. I will not suggest you going for widespread mass distribution for this product at this point of time. It will, you will waste your energy into managing your channel partners and all, and also your core responsibility should be creating demand of this product. You will get very less time if you going for a distributorship for this. I will suggest go for D2C model. Miss
Thanks.
Sangeeta Jha had some question,
Yeah.
I believe.
Sangeeta, you can unmute yourself and you can go.
Hi, Avik. Hi, Prasanna.
Hi, hi, hi.
So it is regarding sanitary napkins, because I do have a product, though the service is more in my project. I've designed a project through services. We create demand for our products. We have sanitary napkin, Khushi. It is a registered brand name, and we have sanitary napkin vending machines and incinerator. These all are
Okay.
manufactured at our factory level. So most of the time since last, I think more than 3-4 years, we were serving only to the social market through CSR. But last year onwards, I started cracking or trying for commercial market. So what has happened as you started with sales and marketing? So it is a egg chicken problem my team is facing. The moment the census data, everything, targeted audience, age group, gender, all have been worked out. The moment I'm trying to do a marketing that why they should buy our sanitary napkin, and next day, if they go to nearest shop, our napkins are not available. So like sales, I cannot where it is available, how you can get it, where you can get it, and why you should buy. So these two, because if before marketing, if I want to put a stock into that locality, the huge credit line they ask for, actually 100% credit line. नया product है, बिकेगा, पैसा देंगे. So
yes, everybody will say the same thing.
yes. So is there anything कि ये एक chicken वाला के sales पहले और marketing पहले, or
Okay.
how to combine?
Sales पहले. Sales. Your question answer is sales पहले. ठीक है. You can put crores of rupees into marketing. People will look for your product, go to the customer touch point, retailer outlet, and they will not find the product. Your money has gone down to the tube. Whatever money you have put into marketing, your product has to be available at the outlet. Even if people come there and buy your product, the problem you are facing is that this is a competitive market. There are MNCs, the world's best MNCs are into this competition. So you have to, I don't know your product, your features, and I haven't done any analysis on that. What is the price point? So all the 4 P's of marketing: product, price, place, promotion. Apart from promotion, sorry, apart from place, whether the product and price, they are having any special gap into the market or not. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Coming
what is
to the product.
Just 1 minute, madam. Allow me to finish for just one more sentence. Is that there are 2 ways it can happen, right? either your margin is so good, right? And your product pricing is so so lucrative for the consumer, your retailer will push it to the customer. अरे आपके पास वो 20 रुपए वाला नहीं है, ये 10 रुपए वाला है, ले जाओ, एकदम बहुत बढ़िया चीज है, नया आया है, right? For what kind of customers? For what kind? If it is a low value product, right? It's not a very up the premium market वाला category अगर नहीं है, then you cannot sell them at premium category वाला area. If it is a premium category, you have to identify on which area. I talked about towns. Inside the town, Calcutta, in which area you should target, you have to find out that. Okay, so that drawing, you have to go by your drawing board, I believe, and do this. Then I'll be able to comment. I mean, at this point of time, that's much I can say about this thing. But yes, always sales comes before marketing.
Okay.
There are companies which have built company without very limited marketing. Talk about Nirma. All of us know what Nirma is today, but when they started with a good product and solid distribution. Good product, solid distribution. I have worked for a company called 𝐬𝐴. 𝐬𝐴 is the pioneer, the first company in India which introduced the idea of sachet, 50 rupees sachet, chick shampoo. Okay. So that's one marketing innovation, changed the landscape of India. The shampoo market of India, right? Now everywhere you'll say that string of sachets hanging in front of every kirana shop and all, right? But he started some kind of marketing innovation which makes you stand out of the crowd. This is a very crowded market, right? Stand out of the crowd. That will only save you.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Lovely,
Any other
Avik.
question?
Thanks for that. Yeah, I think for now, any closing remarks? How would you want to? There were a couple of other topics you wanted to kind of quickly touch upon. And any closing remarks?
I just want to conclude. It's almost the end of this thing. One more thing for since I'm currently working in the CRO of a health tech startup, and what have I learned for last close to 2 decades of experience? Whenever you're in a business now, you try to keep your focus primarily on input metrics. Your number, your brand building, your turnover, your number, all are output. क्या करने से वो पैसा आता है? This is the input metric. Sales may go to the most basic and granular level. For example, if you are in sales, and distribution, traditional distribution model, what is your input metric? आपका जो सेल्स का बंदा है मार्केट में, वो दुकान में जाके यू हैव टोल्ड हिम के बॉस तेरे को ये 7 स्टेप्स फॉलो करना है. सेल्स के 7 स्टेप्स है. यू हैव टू गो, ग्रीट, से हाई, हेलो, टेक कितना स्टॉक है, काउंट देम. There is an elaborate process. I mean, I have worked as a sales trainer as well. So I know that in and out the 7 steps of sales, right? Whether he is meticulously following each step every day or not, same hammer at same place every day without any fail. That's your input metric, and you cannot let your people sleep away from it. If you are in a D2C marketing, right? Your pre-sales team को एक sales pitch बताया गया है. Whenever some customer calls you or you call a customer, this is exactly how you have to start and how you have to end, how you have to talk. You cannot let your people sleep away from that particular input metric. Everything. So how many calls he is making per day? If you are people going into the market, how many outlets he has to go? He has to go to 50 outlets, come whatever may. अगर वो वहां से आज अगर 49 हुआ, आप बोले अरे ठीक है कोई नहीं चलता है, थक गया होगा, कल वो 48 होगा, उसके बाद 47 होगा. You cannot, I mean, wither away from that. Whether he is making the exact sales pitch or not, he has to. आजकल this has been possible with the advent of technology. पहले तो पता नहीं था कि यहाँ पे लोग तो घर बैठ के ऑर्डर, दुकान से ऑर्डर ले रहे हैं. We have got IT enablement called field sales. Now people take order in their app. Company has installed app in his mobile. उसके थ्रू ऑर्डर लेना है. ठीक है. If that guy, that salesman is not within 5 meters of the outlet, that app will not open. It has to ensure that person is physically available near the outlet. So now you can track people's movement, and you have to ensure that tech enablement is there in your company to ensure that people are not moving away from the SAIT protocol or SAIT input metric. You are sending people, sorry, your telecallers are giving calls to the prospective customers and saying whatever thing they want to do. You have to put a system of auditing every telecalling. Now in my company, I have put a system where all the calls will be edited by AI live. सो मेरे पास अभी आएगा ये जो 5 मिनट पहले ये बंदा जो बोला है उस कस्टमर को गलत बोला है, 50% सही है, 50% गलत है. इमीडिएटली आई हैव टू गो देयर एंड टेल हिम प्लीज ये पिच मेरे को सुनाओ. अगर आप इफ यू हैव नो कंट्रोल ऑन दिस इनपुट पैरामीटर, योर आउटपुट विल इज बाउंड टू फेल. Always believe in this very nitty gritty basics of sales. दिस कितने लाइंस किए, कितने आज यू हैव टोल्ड कि हर कंपनी में हर दुकान में तेरे को 4 लाइन बेच के आना है, 4 SKU. आज उसका एवरेज 3.5 आया. मैं चल यार कोई बात नहीं, कल कर लेगा. मैं लिख के देता हूँ 3.5 की जगह पे 3 होगा, फिर 2.5 होगा. यू हैव टू इंश्योर किसी भी दिन वो 4 के नीचे नहीं जाएगा. यू हैव टू गो इनटू डिटेल्स. तुम किस दुकान से नहीं हुआ, वहां पे क्या बताए थे, तुम्हारे साथ क्या बात हुआ. You have to ask telecaller what did you have, what chat did you had with this gentleman. So if you are telecalling team, you'll be having a software called TeleCRM, Tubelight, and now softwares are there. So they always record, keep the recordings of that particular conversation. You have to go through them, deep dive. What went wrong? Single sentence, single word deviated from your prescribed script, and your business chance is gone. Always keep that input, that gear of input metric very strongly in your hand. Do not give it to anyone else. You control it, then you control your business. Okay, so that's all from my side, Prasanna.
Thanks, Avik. Did we touch upon the brands thinking about entering the rural market? How to think about it? Just asking so that we can just touch
Okay.
upon that.
Yeah, no, I didn't. So
Yeah.
just whatever I discussed, वहीं से थोड़ा बहुत मैं आगे ले जाऊंगा इसको. So if you think that your product, you have got an agri product, right, and you have to go to rural market, how you are going to do it? So you've identified your towns where you are going to do. Now you put some parameters where the agri produce, उसका भी data आपके पास available है ही. Typically देखा गया है ना, in outlets the categorization is very blurred in rural areas. For example, you got specific outlet for specific product in town, right? For the toiletries in Calcutta, you have got outlets in New Market which sells only perfume, nothing else. Very specific, very precise, right? So that level of sharp categorization doesn't happen in rural India. Same outlet selling kerosene oil and anda and broccoli, not broccoli, or cauliflower and biscuit and egg bhurji as well. Okay? So you have to find out. So it's easier to find out a distributor and retailers in rural India because they are very few in number and one person selling everything. Problem is how you make your product reach them, right? So what we used to do, once in Godrej, I took an initiative of van distribution. So van लेके distributor का लोग जाएगा, दुकान के सामने जाएगा, वहीं पे ऑर्डर लेगा, डिलीवर करेगा, पैसे लेके आ जाएगा. ठीक है. Then after 2 months I stopped it. Why? I calculated van चलाने के लिए मुझे 700 रुपया खर्चा होता है. I spent 700 rupees per day per van. From that van does a 2000 rupees का business, जहां से मेरा कंपनी का प्रॉफिट है only 400 रुपया. ठीक है. तो आई एम स्पेंडिंग 400 rupees, sorry, 700 rupees, earning 400 rupees. What is the point? In few cases now, you have to go through wholesaler model. Every big district or town will have a kasbah. Kasbah is a wholesale driven town, right? I mean, town where a lot of wholesalers are there. Best to go through wholesale route through rural market. I still believe, and that is debatable. That's highly debatable, and I know a lot of my seniors telling me, I told you so. The real India, go there, distribute. There's a huge lot of money. It is a misnomer. Rural India looks very lucrative. 20 state. Rural India still looks very lucrative even after 20 years. Because that it might look very huge population, 80 crore people, but where and how much they can spend. How much they can spend. You can buy a Surf Excel ka bada bottle because you have a what do you call it, washing machine at your home and you'll be needing it. And for storage options are limited in the rural areas, so they'll always go for this 5 rupees ka pouch. So your packet size, your pack size, SKU size is small rural India. They believe on buying every day, right? We buy our daily groceries at one time beginning of the month and store them. They prefer going to market every day and buy it for them. So that becomes your distribution model very less cost effective. It is my opinion, and I have had debate with n number of my seniors, n number of my colleagues. Few support me, few don't support me, but I don't still believe that getting into rural India with all your might, this and that, boss, it's not worth of it. Project Shakti was scrapped. Project Shakti was scrapped because the same product they sold into the rural India women came back to urban wholesale and with an undercutted price. And there was a huge problem of price stability. Okay, so इंसान तो है, population तो है, वहां पे demand उतना है क्या? I don't believe so. So it's a difficult choice. Which towns you need to enter, which villages you need to enter. I believe beyond 50K populated town. मैं तो बोलते 1 लाख से नीचे beyond 50K populated town always go via wholesale route.
Wow. Right. Prabhat, you had some point.
No, completely agree. But Avik, one last question from me. What is the right percentage of ROI that we should tell to a distributor? What the distributor is happy with?
24% minimum.
And
no distributor will work below 25% ROI. Nobody.
And next question, why, I mean, how this 24% come? What is the logic?
2%. First is that what is our FD rate? डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर अगर मंथली 2% नहीं कमाएगा तो एफडी में डाल के बैठेगा ना. मतलब ही इज अ बिजनेसमैन, ही हैज टू रोल हिज मनी, राइट? टिपिकली हम लोग देखे हैं डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर को कैसे आता है ना. डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर बोलते हैं कि आप एक महीने का स्टॉक रखो और 1 महीना मार्केट में दो, ठीक है. एंड ये काफी सारे मतलब डिफरेंट कंपनी काफी सारे कैलकुलेशन है. टिपिकली माना जाता है 2%, 24% is the benchmark. You must guarantee and deliver to a distributor. उसके नीचे distributor will lose interest.
Correct. मतलब whatever may be the product cycle, वो fast बिके या slow बिके, distributor के जेब
अगर slow बिकेगा तो आपको ज्यादा मार्जिन देना पड़ेगा, fast बिकेगा तो कम मार्जिन से काम चल जाएगा. But then make your product run fast, your investment in marketing will go up.
Okay. Fine. Lovely, Avik. I think we had enough of time to talk about a lot of things. This was truly a master class. अभी मैं सोच रहा हूँ इसका transcript निकाल के then I'll summarize it and we can actually share it with a larger audience, right? Because there were just so many subtle insights which we might actually miss. But when someone is really thinking of how to go about it, the ratios you spoke about, how to think about some of those things are really, really there, right? So, Dheeraj, I know you had put in a question there. If there is anything specific, when you say services, if that's specific related to distribution, just unmute yourself and you can ask that. Or if it's out of syllabus here, then we can perhaps take it up in another forum. So, Ajay, he was asking about the auditing facilities of the calls and everything. He was asking, is there any specific services or platforms that you can suggest which can help him audit the calls that is happening from his
there are two ways.
outbounds?
One is that there are a lot of softwares out there. One is the TeleCRM that I am using at my present company. So the mobile and SIM card, I mean, you're giving a mobile to your telecaller, right? That mobile mein TeleCRM installed rahega. Every call has to be through telecaller. It's a dialer. And every call will be recorded. Now you can get them monitored manually, audited manually, right? The people will be there, or there are AI software, I mean, AI driven software solutions are there where you feed them with a standard transcript. Because this is my standard pitch, that AI will listen to the gentleman's conversation, compare with the standard script and tell you ये 50% comply किया है, ये 80% किया है, ये 40% किया है, then you can go and deep dive into listen what actually happened. अभी तक मैं मैनुअली कराता हूँ, सो आई हैव अ लेडी सिटिंग इन माय टीम, दिन भर काम ही है लोगों का कॉल सुनना और मुझे आके चुगली करना, सॉरी फॉर माय लैंग्वेज, अरे वो गलत बोला है, अरे वो गलत बोला, सर डांट दो उसको, अरे ये तो गए गुजरे, निकाल ही दो कंपनी से. तो दैट्स हाउ वी डू इट. No, jokes apart, but yes, AI driven solutions are there.
Lovely, Avik. Thanks a lot. So with that, actually, we will
Thanks.
try to wrap the session up. Before we wrap it up, I will just make one small announcement, which I will start. Maybe Tanya and Prabhat can jump in and talk about. So with the great support that the entire BE community and all of you all have given, it has actually truly made us think larger. How can we take this entire piece to a next level, right? So with great pride, we would love to announce that we actually have started what is called as a Startup Premier League for Calcutta. We will be announcing the timelines and all that stuff very soon. The whole idea behind this is saying that so many of you guys who come and attend this session are actually in college or just out of college, right? So people who have some large ideas, large visions. So how do we help them bring that idea from an idea to an execution? So what we are doing is we actually are starting this Startup Premier League, and where we are going across to many colleges. We are conducting events there. We are asking people to participate, pitch, and eventually have a qualifier round and eventually come up with a grand finale where all the students not just get to participate, they get mentors, they get internships, they get certificates, incubation support, and even seed funding. So with all of this all happened just because of the support that the startup community has given us, the motivation that you guys have given. So if you are a student, just ping us and say, hey, why are you guys not coming to our college? So we'll ensure that we are there in your college, right? So we have a lot of mentors across different categories, across all the different sectors there. And we'll be soon announcing this officially. We just were just too happy. We just wanted to announce this to the community at this stage. Prabhat, you want to add anything? You're on mute.
No, okay. Thank you.
The man who basically made this happen doesn't want to talk about it, right? So fantastic, guys. So thanks a lot. Thanks, Avik. This was truly a master class. सिर्फ बोलने के लिए नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. I know there was just a lot of insights that you just gave us. What we'll do is we'll put this video out on YouTube. We'll make shorts out of this with the nuggets. Apart from that, we'll take the transcripts and we will actually create literally a cheat code for everyone who wants to think about distribution. We will publish that cheat code. Obviously, we'll get it verified by you and then we'll publish it to the community so people can definitely make use of this, right? So thanks a lot for your time and for all the insights. Avik and Prabhat, thanks for all the pointed questions so that the community can really learn from it, right? So thanks, Arun. Thanks, Tanya, for this. Tanya, any closing remarks? Anything else from your end?
Thank you, Abhigda, for your time, and thanks, Prasanna. What a wonderful description of our, Startup Premier League. Thank you.
Right.
Good.
Okay.
Thanks everybody. Thanks. Bye.
Have a lovely weekend. Thanks, y'all. See you. Bye.
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 Every great startup begins with a spark, and platforms like Startup Premier League helps us turn that spark into fire. This competition gives freshers and young innovators across various colleges in Calcutta a chance to pitch your ideas, get hands on mentorship, and access real opportunities, be it internships, incubation, and even seed funding. And as a mentor, I'm excited to be part of this journey with many potential entrepreneurs because building startups isn't about funding. It's about the mindset. It's about the perseverance. It's about the vision that you have. The future truly belongs to you. I truly believe that the next unicorn could rise from Calcutta, and I wish all the participants the courage to dream big and discipline to build even bigger.